Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. Jason stops his twin brother from killing his biological mother, Ronnie. Carly's updates for Valentine, the plot between Jason and Sonny. While Jason Morgan and Sonny Corinthos plot, Carly Spencer will have some information for Valentine Cassadine. Britt Westbourne will also shut down Emma Scorpio Drake, so here's what GH fans can expect. For starters, Laura Collins will admit to Lulu Spencer that tonight could make or break Port Charles. Because there is a lot riding on this election, Laura will fear the worst if a mayoral campaign crisis arises at the last minute. Carly will pay Valentine another visit at Steinmauer and admit that if everything goes according to plan, he won't ever see her there again. Of course, that's because Carly gave Jack Brennan a nudge to transfer Valentine to a stateside prison instead. Valentine will get the latest news and help Carly out with the next phase of her plan. He will receive updates from Jocelyn Jacks in Brennan's office now that she has heard Marco Rios urging Lucas Jones to move in with him. Brennan may think this will give Jocelyn Jacks an excuse to snoop around Windmere and argue that this is exactly the type of break they need. Of course, we should also mention the phone call that Brennan just received. Although it sounded like Anna Devane's voice on the other end of the line, it seems likely that it's AI since Anna was locked up the last time fans saw her. There was a voice Anna had previously heard that sounded like Caesar Faison, so that could also have been AI. Whatever the case, it'll be interesting to see if Brennan is getting pulled into a trap. Meanwhile, Britt will warn Emma that they won't be working together as more tension breaks out. Given that Rocco Falconeri's initial attempt to steal Britt's key fob was unsuccessful, Emma may attempt to steal it herself, but she may not succeed. Nevertheless, Emma and Charlotte Cassadine will do some strategizing in Friday's GH episode as they continue plotting a lab break-in and animal testing shutdown. As for Ava Jerome, she'll have a flirty chat with Jen Sidwell and hint about there being no place to hide. Since Ava's going to do something to impress Sidwell, she may assume shady things are happening at Windmere and suggest Lucas' move-in at Windmere could be risky. It's possible that Sidwell will appreciate Ava's intelligence and her refusal to mince words. Both Ava and Sidwell are rooting for Marco's happiness with Lucas, so that'll give them a reason to bond. Over with Jason, he'll have a meeting with Sonny and suggest maybe they should take the shot before it's too late. This may be about escalating their tactics when it comes to handling Sidwell before he truly takes over PC. The tension in Port Charles has never been higher, and tonight's episode of General Hospital promises to leave fans gasping for breath. As the city teeters on the edge of chaos, Jason Morgan finds himself facing an unimaginable moral crossroads, stopping his own twin brother from committing the unthinkable, killing their biological mother, Ronnie. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer's shocking revelation to Valentine Cassadine sends ripples through every power circle in town, and Sonny Corinthos joins forces with Jason to plot their next big move. Each storyline unfolds with layers of emotion, danger, and long-buried secrets that could forever alter the course of life in Port Charles. For Laura Collins, the night is nothing short of pivotal. In a heartfelt conversation with Lulu Spencer, Laura admits that this evening could make or break the very future of Port Charles. The mayoral election looms large, but the stakes stretch far beyond politics. When a last-minute campaign crisis erupts, Laura's fears of losing control, not just of the city but of the fragile peace she's fought so hard to protect, begin to manifest. The outcome could determine who truly holds the power in this restless town. At Steinmauer prison, Carly Spencer makes another bold move. She pays Valentine Cassadine a tense visit, her voice trembling but determined. She tells him that if all goes according to her plan, he'll never see her in that place again. Beneath her calm exterior, Carly's wheels are turning. She's orchestrated a deal with Jack Brennan to transfer Valentine to a stateside facility. But this is more than a simple favor, it's a calculated play that could shift alliances and expose hidden truths. Valentine, ever the schemer himself, quickly realizes there's more to Carly's visit than meets the eye. When she reveals her next phase, his interest peaks. This plan could either save them both or destroy everything they've worked for. Meanwhile, Brennan's office becomes the nerve center for a new web of intrigue. After receiving updates from Jocelyn Jacks, who overheard Marco Rios encouraging Lucas Jones to move in with him, Brennan senses opportunity. He believes this development could allow Jocelyn to poke around Windmere, and in his mind, that's precisely the kind of break they've been waiting for. What Brennan doesn't know is that he's already walking into a trap. Moments earlier, he received a mysterious phone call that sounded eerily like Anna Devane's voice. Yet, Anna was last seen locked up, meaning the voice was likely synthetic, a disturbing echo created by AI. This isn't the first time such deception has struck. Anna herself once heard a voice mimicking Caesar Faison. Could someone be manipulating Brennan into doing their bidding? The lines between truth and illusion are blurring fast, and it's only a matter of time before someone pays the price. Elsewhere, Britt Westbourne finds herself losing patience. In a heated exchange, she shuts down Emma Scorpio Drake's latest attempt to get close to her research. Britt's firm warning doesn't stop Emma, though. Frustrated but determined, Emma teams up with Charlotte Cassadine once again. The two young women begin plotting a lab break-in to expose animal testing at the facility. Their youthful idealism clashes with the dangerous reality of what they're attempting, but neither seems willing to back down. Rocco Falconeri's previous failure to steal Britt's key fob has only fueled their resolve. Friday's episode teases a high-stakes mission that could land them in deeper trouble than they ever imagined. At the same time, Ava Jerome turns up the charm during a flirty exchange with Jen Sidwell. The chemistry is undeniable, but beneath the surface, Ava's always playing a game. She hints that there's no place to hide, a phrase that seems both playful and menacing. Her instincts tell her that something shady is unfolding at Windmere, and Lucas Jones's impending move there could be more dangerous than anyone realizes. Sidwell, captivated by Ava's directness and intelligence, finds himself unexpectedly drawn to her. Together, they bond over their shared support of Marco and Lucas's relationship, unaware that their flirtation could soon lead to revelations neither of them is prepared to face. And then, there's Jason. In the dim light of Sonny Corinthos's office, the two men stand in tense silence, the weight of years of loyalty and betrayal between them. Jason's jaw is tight, his eyes filled with conflict. He finally breaks the silence, suggesting that maybe it's time to take the shot before it's too late. The line is loaded, this isn't just about power or business. It's about survival. But Jason's world takes a devastating turn when he learns what his twin brother, Drew Kane, is planning. Drew has uncovered the truth about their biological mother, Ronnie. Betrayal, resentment, and years of buried pain twist inside him, driving him toward a path of vengeance. He blames Ronnie for the lies, the separation, and the suffering that shaped their lives. Consumed by rage, Drew plots to end her life, convinced that it's the only way to reclaim control. Jason, upon discovering Drew's plan, is torn apart. How do you stop your own brother from crossing a line he can never return from? The confrontation that follows is electric. In a secluded corner of the docks, under the shadow of the night, Jason finds Drew armed and ready. The emotion between them crackles, anger, heartbreak, and love all at once. Jason pleads with him, his voice breaking, reminding Drew that no matter what Ronnie did, she's still their mother. He argues that killing her won't erase the past, it'll only destroy what's left of their souls. Drew's hands tremble as he faces Jason, torn between fury and guilt. Memories flash, of the brotherhood they once shared, of the years stolen from them. Ronnie, watching from a distance, can hardly breathe. For all her mistakes, she never imagined her sons would stand on opposite sides of a gun. In that charged moment, Jason does what he's always done best, he acts. He lunges forward, disarming Drew and tackling him to the ground. The gun goes off, echoing through the night, but by a miracle, no one is hurt. Jason pins his brother down, his voice hoarse as he whispers, "Don't make me lose you too." The emotional fallout is immense. Ronnie collapses in tears, finally forced to face the pain her secrets have caused. Drew breaks down, realizing that his rage almost cost him everything, his brother, his future, his humanity. For Jason, the moment is both a victory and a heartbreak. He saved his mother's life, but in doing so, he's seen just how deeply broken his family truly is. As dawn breaks over Port Charles, word spreads of the near tragedy. Carly, hearing of Jason's intervention, finds herself more determined than ever to hold her world together. She meets with Valentine again, this time revealing a new piece of news that could shake the Cassadine empire. Valentine listens carefully as Carly details her next move, one that could expose Brennan's manipulation and turn the tables entirely. For the first time in a long while, Valentine sees Carly not just as an ally, but as an equal, a strategist capable of matching his every move. Meanwhile, Sonny and Jason regroup. Their conversation is quiet but heavy with intent. "We've got to move before Sidwell takes control," Jason says. Sonny nods, his expression unreadable. The old partnership, battered but unbroken, is rekindled in that moment. Together, they begin to plot, their eyes fixed on the horizon, ready to defend what's theirs at any cost. But behind the alliances and plots, the real story tonight is one of family, fractured, flawed, but still bound by blood. Jason's decision to stop his brother from killing their mother isn't just about right or wrong, it's about love, redemption, and the desperate hope that even in Port Charles, forgiveness might still be possible. The fallout from this night will echo for weeks to come. Carly's schemes, Valentine's manipulations, Sonny's power plays, and Jason's moral struggle, all of it weaves together into a storm that's only beginning to brew. Port Charles stands on the edge of change once more, and as the sun rises, one truth becomes clear: in a town built on secrets, no one stays innocent for long. The sun rose over Port Charles like a silent witness to the chaos that had nearly consumed the night. The harbor's waters reflected streaks of gold, but for Jason Morgan, the light did little to ease the storm raging inside him. His knuckles were raw, his body tense from the fight with Drew, but it was his heart that bore the real bruises. He had saved his mother, but at the cost of breaking his brother's spirit. Ronnie sat quietly on the edge of the dock, wrapped in a police blanket. The woman who had once been a secret, a shadow in Jason's life, now looked small and fragile. Her eyes were hollow from years of guilt. Every breath seemed like a confession. "You shouldn't have saved me," she murmured, her voice trembling. "I don't deserve it." Jason crouched beside her, his tone quiet but resolute. "You're my mother," he said simply. "That's reason enough." Ronnie turned her face away, tears slipping down her cheeks. "After everything I did? After the lies, the choices. I destroyed both of you." Jason shook his head. "You made mistakes. But killing you wouldn't have fixed any of it. Drew doesn't see that yet, but he will." Behind them, paramedics were tending to Drew, who sat handcuffed on the back of an ambulance. The fury that had once consumed him was gone, replaced by a deep, painful emptiness. Dante Falconeri, who had responded to the scene, approached Jason quietly. "You know, Jace," Dante said, crossing his arms, "you just prevented one hell of a headline. 2 brothers, both ex-Navy SEALs, one nearly killing their own mother? Port Charles would never recover." Jason gave a small nod, his eyes still on Drew. "He's not the villain here, Dante. He's broken." Dante sighed. "Yeah, well, broken or not, there's still going to be consequences. You can't just pull a gun on someone, even if that someone is family." Jason didn't argue. Instead, his gaze drifted to the horizon. Somewhere in the city, Carly and Sonny were making their own plays, unaware of how this family crisis would soon intertwine with theirs. Carly's power play. At Steinmauer, Carly Spencer's patience was wearing thin. She paced in front of Valentine Cassadine's cell, her heels clicking like a metronome of defiance. Valentine leaned back on his cot, watching her with that trademark smirk. "You're nervous," he said softly. "Which means your plan is working, or falling apart." Carly stopped pacing and turned to him. "It's working," she said confidently. "But we're running out of time. Brennan's starting to suspect that I'm manipulating him. If he finds out I arranged your transfer under false pretenses, he'll come after both of us." Valentine's smile faded. "Then we'll have to make sure he doesn't find out." Carly stepped closer, her voice dropping. "There's something else. Jason's in trouble." Valentine frowned. "Jason?" "He stopped Drew from killing Ronnie, his biological mother, Carly explained, her voice tight. Now the whole situation's a mess. Drew's facing charges, and Jason's caught in the middle. I can't lose him again, Valentine. Not after everything. For a brief moment, Valentine's expression softened. He'd seen Carly fight for the people she loved before, but this was different. There was desperation behind her composure, the kind of desperation that made her dangerous. Then let's give Brennan something else to focus on, Valentine said, standing. You get Jason out of the spotlight, and I'll handle Brennan. Carly's brow furrowed. You can't handle him from in here. That's where you're wrong, Valentine replied, stepping closer to the glass. You see, Brennan's already being watched. I made sure of it. The moment he answers another one of those mysterious phone calls, the ones from that AI Anna voice, my people will trace it. Once we know who's behind it, we'll have leverage. And in Port Charles, leverage is everything. Carly's eyes lit with intrigue and fear all at once. She knew Valentine's brand of power came with consequences, but right now, she needed results. Sonny's calculated move. Across town, in the dimly lit backroom of Charlie's pub, Sonny Corinthos sat at a small table with Dex and Brick. Jason stood in the corner, silent but present. The air was thick with tension. Sidwell's making his move, Brick said, sliding a file across the table. He's pulling strings at the waterfront, new investors, new distribution routes. He's trying to squeeze you out of your own territory. Sonny's jaw tightened. That's not going to happen. Dex chimed in, it's more than just business, boss. Sidwell's got politicians in his pocket now. He's connected to the same people funding the mayoral campaign crisis Laura's dealing with. If he gets his way, Port Charles won't just be his territory, it'll be his city. Jason finally spoke. Then we stop him before he gets there. Sonny looked up at his oldest friend. You sure you're up for this? After what happened with Drew? Jason hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. I need to keep moving. If I don't, he trailed off. Sonny didn't press. He knew Jason's silence was his way of coping. Then here's what we do, Sonny said. We hit Sidwell where it hurts, his money. Brick, you find out who's laundering his cash. Dex, you and Jason handle the docks. Quietly. We can't afford a public war, not with the feds watching Brennan's every move. Jason gave a short nod. Got it. As the meeting broke up, Sonny caught Jason's arm. Hey, he said quietly. You did the right thing last night. Stopping Drew. Ronnie doesn't deserve forgiveness, but you do. Don't lose sight of that. Jason didn't answer, but the flicker of gratitude in his eyes said enough. Emma and Charlotte's dangerous mission. Meanwhile, at the Port Charles University lab, Emma Scorpio Drake and Charlotte Cassadine crept through the back corridor, flashlights in hand. Their mission, to expose the illegal animal testing Britt had refused to discuss, had turned into something far more dangerous. Are you sure about this? Charlotte whispered, glancing nervously at the security camera. Emma nodded. Britt's hiding something. If we get proof, we can shut the lab down for good. Charlotte hesitated but followed her friend into the main lab. The hum of machines filled the air. Rows of cages lined the walls, but what caught Emma's attention wasn't the animals, it was the computer screen flashing red warnings. Unauthorized access detected. Charlotte froze. Emma, what did you do? I just plugged in the flash drive, Emma whispered. It was supposed to copy the files. Before she could finish, an alarm blared through the building. Security lights flashed as the door slammed shut behind them. Britt Westbourne burst into the room moments later, flanked by 2 guards. What the hell do you think you're doing? She shouted. Emma stood her ground. You're experimenting on live subjects without authorization. I saw the files. Britt's expression darkened. You don't know what you saw. You're meddling in things that could destroy lives, including your own. Charlotte stepped forward, defiant. Then maybe those lives deserve to be destroyed. The confrontation escalated until security hauled both girls out. As they were dragged away, Britt's hands shook. She wasn't angry, she was scared. Because Emma was right. There was something in those files that couldn't be exposed, not without unraveling a secret tied to Brennan's AI program, and to the mysterious voice that sounded like Anna Devane. The trap tightens. Back at Steinmauer, Brennan sat alone in his office, replaying the AI voice message. "Hello, Brennan," it purred through the speaker. "You failed me again. Valentine still breathes. Carly still schemes. Do better." His hands clenched into fists. "Who are you?" he demanded. The voice laughed softly. "I'm the one pulling your strings." Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the feed went dead. Moments later, Valentine's lawyer entered, holding a transfer order signed by the Department of Justice. Effective immediately, the lawyer announced, "Mr. Cassadine is being